Hi, this is Mambosa Sophia, and I'm here to talk to you about the power of the word. Now, you'll hear us talking a lot about speaking from the heart, talking your business, meaning what you say in a magical, spiritual context. When you're doing your prayers, when you're doing your magical work, your travail, when you're doing your lamps, your candles, your wanga, you speak your business over them as part of the process, or you might as well not bother to do them. You might as well not bother to light that candle, make that wanga, do that lamp, if you're not speaking your business over them. So why is this? The word is important. The word is so important, and it can't be stated enough. It's something that's very, very basic, but very, very deep meaning. And so I want you to think about that after you've watched this video. The word is important. As they say in Haiti, the tongue is not the sea, but it can drown you. That's how powerful your tongue is. So as spiritual workers, as people who use our tongue, use our word in order to enact a change, in order to push for change in our world around us, the physical world, there are some things that we need to not be doing, and there are some things that we need to consider in our everyday lives. First, if you have the choice between someone who's reciting a hollow prayer that means nothing to them, or even that means something negative to them, if you have the choice between that or a person who speaks heartfelt, who knows none of the prayers, none of the traditional songs, but does speak truly from their heart, then I tell you, go for the last person, the person who speaks from their heart every time. Because that's the person that's going to have the power, that's the person that's going to get things done, that's the person who's going to get the connection with the spirit, with the Loa that we require to do our work. Not the person who speaks hollow words, not the person who recites. Yes, we do use prayers. Those prayers are traditional, those prayers are respectful. But we are also very careful to put power in those words, to mean those words when we say them, and to mean them after we say them too. So further to this, let's talk about lying. Let's talk about truth. If you are the kind of person who habitually lies, or tells stories about others, or tells stories about yourself in your day-to-day life, do not be surprised when you go to do your spiritual work, things don't work. If you are that sort of person who cannot open your mouth without a lie coming out of it, then I strongly suggest you go and train up to be a storyteller and use that skill for a positive purpose rather than what you're currently using it for. Because when we give promises to the Loa, our word is our bond. We're as good as our word. If we regularly break our promises in life, even if we don't break our promises to the Loa, but if we regularly break our promises in life, our word has less meaning. And if we regularly lie in our daily lives, and when I say lie, I mean actually lie, not tell partial truths, which sometimes we all need to do, but lie outright, especially when that lie is to harm other people, to push ourselves ahead of other people, to cause negative reactions. Your word is as good as your bond. If you lie all the time, then the spirits are not going to take you seriously. And that's why as spiritual workers, we do our best to be honest and upfront in life. We do our best when we can't tell the whole truth, not to lie outright, but simply to be honest and say, right now, I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that truth. And there's another reason why this is useful, and that's that when we do get messages from the Loa, sometimes they are not always easy to understand. Sometimes the messages seem to mean one thing and then end up meaning something else. The spirits don't lie, but sometimes they tell things in riddles or a riddling form. They tell things that need thought about. They tell things that have layers of meaning. If we are not careful with how we speak to other people, if we are not careful not to lie, then I have noticed that the messages that come from the Loa reflect that person's skill in lying. They are more likely to speak in riddles to that person. You get what you give out. I'm not saying that we are all into the karma and the threefold return, but we know that what you give out, you get. So that's my message today. I speak a lot about speaking from the heart in my daily practice. I speak about it a lot at workshops, and at the moment I'm putting together my distance learning classes, and I have to speak about that a lot there. So I'm making this to better explain what I mean when I say speak from the heart. And when I say talk your business, I'm not saying you sit there for 3 hours spilling out every damn little thing that's going on in your head. But when I say talk your business, I mean speak honest. There are some Loa that really don't like dishonesty. There are some Loa that, as long as you're honest, they're happy with you. And Ogul is one such man. If you are honest with him, he'll be honest with you. If you're respectful of him, he'll be respectful of you. So that's my message today. Over and out.